At the opera house in Ukraine, everyone is enjoying their time, listening to music, until an armed gang storms in. A few moments later, the Ukrainian police arrive at the scene, but among them are two undercover American agents from the CIA. One of them is the protagonist of our story, though, by the way. Nolan never mentions his name, and they just refer to him as the hero of the story. The hero's mission is to rescue an important American figure from the opera house. But he soon discovers that the gang has planted explosives in the building, so he decides to save everyone. Before he can disarm the bomb, someone points a gun at him. However, we notice a bullet hole in one of the chairs, and the bullet travels backward, coming out of the chair and killing the person who was about to shoot him. Although the hero completed his mission, he's captured by a Russian gang who lures him to a train station. There, they open his bag and take a strange device from him. Before they can interrogate him, he swallows a poisonous pill to avoid giving them any information. The hero wakes up in the hospital, where he's with an American intelligence officer. The officer reveals that the mission was just a test of his loyalty for a new operation. This new mission is to save the world from a devastating war, but the officer refuses to give him any details, only revealing the operation's codename, Tenet. Now, I'm tired of calling him the hero, so I'll refer to him as LeBron James. LeBron continues training at sea in preparation for the new mission until the Marine Corps team arrives to transport him to his assignment. LeBron reaches a lab where he meets a scientist named Laura. When he asks her for details about the mission, she refuses to tell him anything as well. But she takes him to a special room, hands him a gun with no bullets, and asks him to shoot at any target. What's strange is that the bullet doesn't come out of the gun, but actually enters the gun from the target he's aiming at. Laura explains to him that there's regular ammunition and then there's time-reversing bullets. To make it easier to understand, she tells him that the target dies before the bullet even leaves the gun. She also mentions that they haven't figured out how to make these bullets yet. They're being produced by someone from the future and sent to them. When LeBron seems confused and doesn't understand anything, Laura tells him not to try to figure it out. The most important thing is to just complete the mission. She shows him a whole storage room full of time-reversing tools and explains that they believe a big war happened in the future, and they want to prevent it. LeBron's journey starts in India to track down the source of these tools. One of his targets is an Indian arms dealer named Sanjay, who lives in a massive building. To break into Sanjay's house, LeBron teams up with another agent named Neil, and they manage to interrogate him. Sanjay doesn't know anything, but his wife, Priya, is the one in charge of everything. She tells LeBron that he's looking in the wrong place and that the real person he's after is a Russian arms dealer named Andrei Sator, who is the one he should be focused on. She also explains that if LeBron wants to understand the truth behind the time-reversing bullets, he needs to meet Andre because he's the intermediary between the future and the past. LeBron then goes to meet a man named Michael to get information on Andre. Michael tells him that Andre appeared suddenly in England, a man of great influence right after a nuclear explosion in Russia. He warns LeBron that it's hard to get close to Andre, but LeBron can approach him through his wife, Kat. LeBron finds out that Kat works at an art gallery, so he goes there with a fake version of a very rare painting, knowing that Kat will immediately recognize it as a fake. LeBron and Kat have dinner together, and he makes a deal with her. If he brings her the real painting from Andre threatening to expose her forgery, she'll introduce him to Andre. It's clear that Kat despises Andre because he threatens her son. Before they can come to any agreement, Andre's men show up to take her with them, but LeBron slips his number into her pocket so she can think and contact him later. Of course, Andre's men don't let LeBron walk away. They want to kill him, but LeBron manages to take them all out. The next day, Kat calls LeBron and tells him that Andre is storing his important things in a warehouse at Oslo airport. LeBron meets with Neil and shares all the information he's learned about the warehouse. Neil goes to scout the place to figure out how they're going to break in, but he discovers that the security system is extremely high level and difficult to crack. They come up with a solid plan. They'll start a fire next to the warehouse so the fire alarm goes off and everyone inside will evacuate. They make arrangements with a man named Mar, who will use a plane to crash it into the back wall of the warehouse and start the fire. Sure enough, Maher crashes the plane into the warehouse's rear wall, causing an explosion just as LeBron and Neil enter the warehouse pretending to be buyers. As soon as they reach Andre's private vault, they notice signs of gunfire. Neil assumes there were people here, but LeBron explains that others are about to show up. Sure enough, one of Andre's men enters, and a fight breaks out between him and LeBron. What's strange is that the fight seems reversed in time, and when LeBron defeats him and interrogates him, the soldier moves backward in time and disappears. When security arrives, the two of them pretend to be unconscious, so no one suspects them. LeBron returns to India and meets Priya, telling her everything that happened, so she can provide any explanations. Priya explains that Andre is using technology from the future, and what's happening isn't exactly time travel. It's more like time is being reset. She helps him understand that the two men who attacked him and Neil are actually the same person, but from different timelines. LeBron doesn't understand anything, honestly, just like me, but she tells him that if he wants to understand, he'll need a device called Platinum 241. This is the same device he took from the opera house in Ukraine, but the Ukrainian police confiscated it from him. LeBron then meets Kat, reassures her that the painting she was worried about has been destroyed, and asks her to keep her promise. Kat takes LeBron to meet Andre on his yacht, telling him that he's been authorized by the embassy. Andre suspects there's a romantic relationship between LeBron and Kat and threatens to kill him, but LeBron tells him that he knows everything that happened at the opera house, and that they need to talk, but at another time. The next day, Andre surprises Kat by revealing that the painting is still intact. He tells her that he removed it from his vault before it could be destroyed. Of course, Andre knows everything that will happen because he's using future technology. Later, we see Andre and LeBron talking about what happened at the opera, and Andre tells him that he's trustworthy and that they need to work together to retrieve the Platinum 241. Since they're at sea and Andre doesn't know how to swim, Kat pushes him into the water to get rid of him, but LeBron jumps in and saves him to gain his trust. Kat is furious with LeBron for what he did, but he explains that he needs her right now because there's a big threat, and no one else will be able to stop it. That night, Andre receives a deal for reversed gold on the yacht, and LeBron is watching the situation. But one of Andre's men spots him and attacks him. In the end, Andre agrees to make a deal with LeBron to spare his life. LeBron will steal the platinum and hand it over to him in exchange for a huge amount of money. The next day, LeBron meets with Neil and tells him that Andre is hiding the reverse technology in a secret location, intending to use it for trade and buying things from the future. Later, LeBron and Neil go to observe a car transporting the platinum so they can steal it. They come up with a bizarre and confusing plan to steal the platinum, but honestly, I'm not going to summarize this part. The cars are moving backward in time, the radio communication is reversed, and nothing really makes sense. Honestly, it's better to just watch the movie for this part. LeBron is shocked to find Andre with Kat, and Andre threatens to kill her if he doesn't hand over the platinum. LeBron has no choice but to give him the briefcase. Andre's men capture LeBron and Kat and take them to Andre's private warehouse. But then we find out that LeBron tricked Andre. He handed over an empty briefcase while Neil took the platinum and escaped with it. Andre uses his technology to summon another version of himself. One version attacks LeBron, while the other attacks Kat. After a while, Neil shows up with his men, Indian soldiers loyal to Priya, and they manage to save them. But Kat's been shot, and she doesn't have much time left. She's about to die. Andre manages to escape using his time machine. Despite helping them, LeBron starts to suspect Neil of being the one who tipped Andre off about their movements. But one of Priya's men explains that Andre divides his men into two groups, one in the future to monitor their moves, and one in the present. Now, with no other choice, they realize the only way to save Kat is to stop Andre and go back in time. However, LeBron knows they can't use the time machine again. They'll have to use the one in Oslo instead. LeBron is determined to go back in time despite the dangerous situation. The team gives him crucial advice on how to survive in that era, handing him a breathing device since his lungs won't withstand the reversed air. They also warn him not to communicate with people from the past. LeBron begins the mission, traveling back to the time of the chase between him and Andre. We discover that Andre knew from the future that LeBron would trick him and not hand over the platinum. So he ambushes LeBron's car and flips it over. Despite LeBron's car being blown up, the reverse effect turns the fire into ice. LeBron is shocked to find out that Neil knew about what happened in the past. He realizes Neil's been involved in this from the start, but still isn't sure whose side he's really on. The two of them end up at the time of the plane explosion at the warehouse, this time disguised as Andre's soldiers. We also discover that the masked person LeBron fought in the warehouse was none other than LeBron himself. Don't ask me how, it just happens. After the fight, LeBron escapes, and Neil in the future lets him go, knowing it's part of the plan. LeBron goes to meet Neil and Kat again, and they've managed to treat her wounds. The next day, LeBron meets Priya in the past, explaining that Andre wasn't just after the platinum, but a powerful algorithm he intended to use to destroy the world. He also reveals that the algorithm was created by a scientist in the future who was killed to prevent her from making more copies of it. Priya admits that she discovered the algorithm and decided to split it into 9 pieces, distributing them across 9 countries. People from the future have been trying to collect the pieces, which is why they sought Andre's help. She also reveals that with the Platinum 241 in Andre's hands, he now possesses all 9 pieces of the algorithm. In the end, Priya confesses that she also has a reverse time machine and will help them go back in time to save the world. Another key piece of information is that Andre has tied the algorithm to his own life. If he dies, the world will be destroyed, which is why they have to stop him without killing him. However, Kat explains that Andre has pancreatic cancer and is willing to destroy the world along with himself. She discovered this secret when she was with him on his yacht in Vietnam. So, they decide to go back to the day when Andre started the algorithm and stop him from activating it. LeBron joins an entire army of Priya's men to help him carry out the mission. The mission is to prevent the nuclear explosion that led Andre to become involved with the algorithm and time travel. Strangely, before the mission begins, Neil disappears, and LeBron has no idea where he's gone. During the assault on the nuclear explosion site, the attack is split into 2 teams, one moving backward in time and another moving forward. The team moving in reverse is led by Neil. Meanwhile, Kat has a separate mission. She must replace her past self on the yacht with Andre to stop him from activating the algorithm. The battle rages on between LeBron and Neil's forces and Andre's men. LeBron makes his way into an underground tunnel to reach the algorithm. There, he sees the bomb he's supposed to stop. Just as he's about to execute the mission, Andre calls him from the past, telling him he won't be able to stop his plan. Andre explains that his motivation is rooted in the future, where resources are scarce and humanity is suffering. That's why they want to destroy the world and wipe out humanity. To prevent it from reaching that stage, Andre orders his men to activate the algorithm and kill LeBron. But Priya's men arrive just in time to stop them, leading to another fierce fight. Meanwhile, Kat is waiting for LeBron's signal to kill Andre, but as time passes without any signal, she decides she can't wait any longer. She kills Andre and throws his body into the sea. At the last moment, LeBron successfully stops the algorithm from being activated. However, they're unable to stop the bomb, which explodes. But Neil arrives just in time to save them from the blast. Kat quickly escapes the yacht before her past self sees her. She later calls LeBron, explaining that she trusted him to figure out a solution after Andre's death. In the end, we see Neil, LeBron, and another operative dividing the algorithm pieces and hiding them. They agree to kill themselves afterward to ensure no one knows the location of the algorithm, with LeBron vowing to kill them himself. If he ever sees them again, Neil decides to travel back in time because he has other missions to complete. Before leaving, he thanks LeBron, revealing that it was LeBron who recruited him for this mission. Neil also tells him that this wasn't their first mission together. They've already worked on several missions in the past. Of course, LeBron doesn't understand anything, just like the rest of the audience. Meanwhile, Priya plans to kill Kat, but LeBron surprises her and stops her. He explains that he knows this mission was his all along, that he is the protagonist and she's just a supporting character working for him. And with that, we've reached the end of our film. If anyone understood what just happened,
don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be the first to know about new movie summaries.